this. There's a video game I like to play to explain why you need to be able to fight back. I haven't played it in a while, but it's very important. It's called The Evolution of Trust. We're going to watch this for a second because Donald Trump's speech is boring. We're going to play a quick game of The Evolution of Trust. I want to explain to you why being a cuck little bitch 100% of the time is a loser's game. Okay, we don't need the sound. Oh, fuck. We don't need the music. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. Actually, you know what? Maybe I could turn it down really low. It's nice to have a little background music. Okay. That's all right. During World War I, peace broke out. It was Christmas 1914 on the Western Front. Despite strict orders not to chillax with the enemy, British and German soldiers left their trenches, crossed no man's land, and gathered to bury their dead, exchange gifts, and play games. Meanwhile, it's 2017. The West has been at peace for decades, and wow, we suck at trust. Surveys show that over the past 40 years, fewer and fewer people say they trust each other. Here's our puzzle. Why, even in peacetime, do friends become enemies? And why, even in wartime, do enemies become friends? Well, not in Israel, I can tell you that. Let's play a game. This is called the game of trust. You have one choice. In front of you is a machine. If you put a coin in the machine, the other player gets 3 coins, and vice versa. You both can either choose to cooperate, put in a coin, or cheat, don't put in a coin. Let's say the other player cheats and doesn't put into a coin. What should you do? Exactly. Why let that moocher mooch off of you? If you cooperate and they cheat, you lose a coin while they gain 3. -1 for you, +3 for them. If you both cheat, neither of you gain or lose anything. Score 0 versus 0. Therefore, you should cheat. This basic insight, which is if you are giving people shit and they don't reciprocate, you're a fucking dope. And you're going to end up with nothing because they're going to keep stealing from you. Can I zoom in? Yeah, sure. Sorry about that. Let's say the other person cooperates and puts in a coin. What should you do now? What's the answer, chat? The other player cooperates and puts in a coin. What should you do? Chat, what should we do? I'm testing you. Look at all these people. They're all saying cooperate. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? Let's say the Republican Party said, Mike, we're going to let you draw the maps. You hate gerrymandering, Mike. I'm going to let you draw all the maps for Congress in all 50 states. You know what I would do? I would fucking gerrymander the ever-loving shit out of that. I would draw the most. I would make the Republican Party so small they'd have 50 fucking congressmen after I was done with the maps. There would be a single Republican from Illinois, New York City, fucking California would have no Republican representatives. I would gerrymander every goddamn seat to the maximum possible degree. And I would put progressives in every single one. Why? Because I understand the power. Wow, that's mean. And also the correct answer. Because if you both cooperate, you both give up a coin to gain 3. +2, +2. But if you cheat and they cooperate, you'll gain 3 coins at the cost of their 1. Therefore, you should still cheat. And that's our dilemma. Trust is nice, but it can let others take advantage of you or shoot you as you come unarmed out of a trench. Sometimes distrust is rational. But now, what happens if we play the game more than once? And this is what's been happening, is that liberals are getting cucked and they're getting cheated and they never fight fire with fire. It is time to fight fire with fire. If you want the Republicans to be good, you have to be just as harsh and just as dangerous and just as willing to do what it takes to win. And that's the only way. Now let's play for real. You'll be playing against 5 different opponents, each with their own strategy. With each opponent, you'll play anywhere between 3 to 7 rounds. You don't know in advance when the last round is. Can you trust them? Or rather, can they trust you? So the best strategy is to lead with cooperation. My strategy is a slightly suboptimal strategy. It's called the Grudger strategy. The Grudger strategy is a strategy where I cooperate, and if somebody ever cheats me, I never, ever cooperate with them again. Now, that's a good strategy when the world is full of assholes. So I always start with cooperation. And I keep cooperating. And then I cheat. Get fucked. Because if you know it's the last round, you should cheat. And that's why I knew that's why I knew Joe Biden was going to pardon his entire family, because he's not playing the game anymore. So he gets to use the pardon ability to pardon his entire fucking criminal family. Because why? None of those Bidens are ever going anywhere in politics. All right, this guy looks like an asshole. This guy looks like an asshole. This guy looks like a business owner. We ain't cooperating with this motherfucker. I could just sense it. This looks like Nancy Pelosi. This looks like Nancy Pelosi. So since this character looks like Nancy Pelosi, you know what that means, motherfucker? You know what that means? We're gonna eat our fucking lunch. We're cheating every time, bitch. Yeah! Woo! Woo! Oh shit. This is me. Oh, this is me. I can tell. He's got the sheriff's hat on. He's just waiting for me to cheat. He'll blast me if I cheat. This motherfucker's gonna blast me if I cheat. Okay, we're cooperating. Yoink, motherfucker, bitch! I shot him in the back anyway, because that's the way I am. Never trust Mike from PA. I'll cooperate with you 4 times, and just when you let down your guard, blasto! I'm just kidding. I'm just very good at these kind of strategy games. Okay, anyway. This looks like Sherlock fucking Holmes. So what does Sherlock Holmes do? Sherlock Holmes is an investigator, which means this guy's gonna try to figure out if he could fuck with me. All right? So I'm gonna lead with cooperate. If he cheats my ass, I'm cheating all the rest of the way. Fuck you. I got a 41. The highest possible score is a 49, which is almost impossible. I'm a grudger, bitch. You cheat me once, I ain't ever cooperating again. All right, so your total score is 41, which is pretty good. The lowest and highest possible scores are 7 and 47 or 49 respectively. So who were those strange characters you played against? Always cooperate. Always cooperate. Let's be best friends. That's Nancy Pelosi. That's why we're in this mess. Because when they fucked over the Democrats and stole a Supreme Court seat, you know what the Democrats should have come into office like? They should have said, they stole a Supreme Court seat. We're taking 3 back. We're taking 5. They stole a Supreme Court for Barack Obama's. We're coming in and we're taking it back. And nobody could have complained. They would. What are they going to do? Well, it's not fair. You're stealing it back. The Democrats said, okay, well, you stole that one. Well, let's stop stealing Supreme Court seats. Do we all agree? You incentivize it. Always cheat. This is the businessman. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Copycat. Hello. I start with cooperate, and afterwards I just copy whatever you did last round. Meow. And grudger. Listen, partner. I'll start cooperating and keep cooperating, but if you ever cheat me, I'll cheat you back till the end of tarnation. And detective. First I analyze you. I start cooperate, cheat, cooperate, cooperate. If you cheat back, I'll act like a copycat. If you never cheat back, I'll act like always cheat to exploit you. Elementary, my dear Watson. Now, what if these characters play against each other? Honestly, the best strategy is copycat. Of these strategies, the best strategy is copycat. But it depends upon what the rewards are for cheating. And it depends based on what we saw before, the best strategy right now is copycat. But if you make... It depends on the ratio between the different strategies. The worst strategy is always cooperate. That is by far and away the worst strategy by far. And that's the strategy of the Democratic Party. Each character will now play against each other character. There's 10 paired matches and 10 rounds per match. What do you think the highest total score? Who do you think will get the highest total score? Think about it carefully and then place your bets. Okay. So against always cooperate, always cheat will have the highest possible score. Because they'll play always cooperate and they'll play. But when they play partner, they're going to get a very low score because they're both going to cheat each other back. Detective is going to get a better score against the always cooperate. So I think the best score is going to be Copycat because they're the one who's going to have the most cooperation rounds. So Copycat narrowly loses against always cheat because they get you for the first round. Then versus Grudger, so they get a pretty good score. So 57 for a Copycat. Now we're gonna go quickly. So the cheater actually underscored Copycat because they got detected by the detective. They got revenge from the Grudger, and their exploitation of the fucking dopey Nancy Pelosi didn't give them enough of a lead. So the Grudger... Alright. I was right. The Copycat won. Veritasium did a video on these different types of cooperate versus greedy decision-making algorithms that showed that cooperative algorithms were always better than greedy ones. It depends. It actually depends upon the conditions. Congratulations, you placed your bet on the right horse. Copycat goes by many names: the golden rule, reciprocal altruism, tit for tat, or live and let live. That's why peace could emerge in the trenches of World War I. When you're forced to play the same game with the same specific people, not just the same generic enemy over and over again, Copycat doesn't just win the battle, it wins the war. But if things change a lot when you play multiple rounds of the same game, what if we play multiple tournaments? Let's our population of players evolve over time. It's a 3-step dance. Play a tournament, eliminate the losers, get rid of the 5 worst players. If there's a tie, pick randomly between them. Clone the 5 best players. How does society change? Okay. So in this environment where there's a bunch of Nancy Pelosi's and a lot of cheaters, the problem is that the cheaters are going to overwhelm the copycats. But because the best 5 players are going to be cheaters, then the next time it's going to be cheaters. I think the cheaters are going to actually win, but it might be it's either copycat or cheaters. But I think in this environment with this many dopes, I think the cheaters might win. But I think it might be Copycat. I think Copycat's gonna storm back. Once all the idiots are down, the Copycats are gonna storm back. That's what I think is gonna happen. Now I feel like I'm wrong. Because the cooperates are gonna... Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna storm back because they're gonna cooperate with each other and they're gonna start winning and start eliminating all the cheaters. And this right here explains socialism. The cheaters get rid of the dopes, but then the socialists come in. Liberals have to be eliminated for socialism to win. That's the only way. In order for us to win, we've got to get rid of the Nancy Pelosi's. We have to get rid of the Chuck Schubers. We have to get rid of the John Fettermans. That's the reality. The people that are dopes, the people that get taken advantage of and never fight back ever, are the ones that have to go before we can come together and build a better future. That's the lesson that needs to be learned. Sometimes a few grudgers may stick around because when all the players except grudger and copycat are eliminated, the two tie. So as you can see, grudgers and copycats can live in harmony because there's no reason for you to have a grudge if everyone's cooperating. Look around. The world's full of total jerkwads. If copycat is the strategy in this repeated game of trust that's so powerful that even soldiers in World War I trenches independently evolved a similar strategy called live and let live, why then are there so many untrusting, untrustworthy people? What is causing our epidemic of untrust? The clue's in the name itself, in this repeated game of trust. So far, we've only talked about change in the players. What about a change in the game? What could lead to the evolution of distrust? Why are we getting fucked up? Let's start with something nice. Here's a world filled entirely with always cooperates except for one always cheat and one copycat. As you already know, copycat wins handily in the long run under our current rules. That's under our current rules, which say that players play against each other for 10 rounds per match. Does copycat still win at 7, 5, 3, 2, 1? The fewer rounds, the better that cheating is the answer. So I think it's around 3 where it's like cheating is good. Yeah. See, so the cheaters win. If you only interact with someone for a shorter period of time, cheating is advantageous. I think 5 is when the cheaters start to get knocked out. Maybe it's 7. It's somewhere around here. Yeah. Let's see, 6. I'm just experimenting. Yeah. So 5 or 6 rounds. As you saw, if you don't play enough rounds, 5 or less, always cheats dominates. In 1985, when Americans were asked how many close friends they had, the most common answer was 3. In 2004, the most common answer was 0. We have fewer friends across racial, class, economic, and political lines because you have fewer friends, period. And just as you've discovered for yourself, the fewer repeated interactions there are, the more distrust will spread. Here's another way to breed distrust. Here are the payoffs for the trust game. With normal payoffs, copycat wins. But now change the both cooperate to +2, from +2 to +1. And then, like, so the reward for cooperating is less than cheating. People are going to cheat. And that's the world we're living in. The same thing always happens. With a lower win-win reward, always cheat takes over. Game theory has 2 powerful ideas about this. Zero-sum game. This is sadly common belief that for us, gains for us must come at a loss to them and vice versa. Non-zero-sum game. This is when people make the hard effort to create a win-win solution. Without the non-zero-sum game, trust cannot evolve. So in other words, my life will be better if you have public transit, you have social housing, you have healthcare, you have college. By me supporting you, my life will get better because I'll have the high quality doctors to take care of me because they got that education. I'll be able to travel to the beach when I want to for a low amount of price. I'm going to avoid, there's going to be less traffic when I do have to drive. Taking care of you takes care of me. Speaking of which, let's look at our third and final barrier for the evolution of trust. As cool as copycat is, it has a huge fatal weakness I haven't mentioned yet. To understand the problem, let's say 2 copycats are playing against each other. Being nice players, most of their first moves will be cooperate. And normally, they just play back at each other's kindness and sing kumbaya until the end of time. But what if, while trying to reciprocate goodness... Oh no, he tripped! He missed! He forgot to put his coin in! He missed! Now this guy thinks he's a cheating asshole! Oh no, mistakes, miscommunication, misinterpretations, accidents happen all the time in real life. What if the person doesn't think it was an accident? And the other player, being a copycat, had to retaliate. And you, being a copycat as well, you also have to retaliate. Thus, like the Hatfields and McCoys, the two copycats will spiral into an endless cycle of vengeance that started over a single mistake long ago. Tragic. But now, are there other types of players who could deal with mistakes? This is called the evolution of forgiveness. Forgiveness is what's necessary for us to get back to cooperating. But in order for me to forgive you, you've got to stop cheating. Forgiveness happens when you stop being a cheater, not before. And if you keep cheating, then I can't forgive you. Copycat. Hello, I'm like Copycat, except I cheat back only after you cheat me twice in a row. After all, the first one could be a mistake. Simpleton. Hi, I start cooperate. If you cooperate back, I do the same thing as last move, even if it mistake. If you cheat back, I do the opposite thing as last move, even if mistake. And here's one of the things you're going to find that's really interesting. Simpleton is a very strong strategy in life. Simpleton is actually a very surprisingly strong strategy in life. Being kind of a moron is actually an advantage, and you're going to see that. If you ever wonder why are there so many assholes who can't see what I'm saying, why are there so many assholes that fuck things up, it's because it's actually a good strategy. Random, monkey robot, ninja pizza tacos, lol, I'm so random. Just plays cheat or cooperate randomly. Okay. Random sucks. Let's start with the dozen always cooperates versus our old winner, the fair copycat, and our three new characters, the forgiving copykitten, the dull simpleton, and the silly random. Okay, in this strategy, simpleton is the best. Why is simpleton the best? Does somebody figure out why simpleton is the best? Why is simpleton the best strategy? This is exactly when it's a good time to be a moron. It's a good time to be a moron because there's no assholes in this group. When there are no assholes in a group, being a moron is good because you will not be getting taken advantage of, but because you're a moron, you will drain resources from other people. The best time to be a moron is when there's nobody to take advantage of you. And I know that I can predict this because I could, you know, I've done this before on stream and I remember it, but even when I played it the first time, I knew Simpleton was the best strategy. All right, you bet Simpleton wins. Let's find out. Use the controls on your left to start the stim, quick mode, or go through step by step. You were correct! Simpleton wins. This is because Simpleton is actually capable of exploiting always cooperate. They both start cooperating, but if Simpleton makes a mistake and cheats, since always cooperate never retaliates, it'll keep cheating them. So you can't just be on guard for idiots, or you can't just be on guard for assholes. You also need to be on guard for idiots, and you need to let people, just because they're simpletons, just because they're stupid assholes, you need to punish them and get them back on track too. You can't just mindlessly think, oh, that was a mistake, I forgive you. They actually have to stop exploiting. The same thing as before, except instead of always half cooperate, it's half always cheat. It's a much less forgiving, more hostile environment. So in this environment, simpletons are going to get destroyed. But the best strategy in this hostile environment is forgiveness. Because when people make mistakes, not being able to forgive them leads you to become an asshole. As long as a person is legitimately sorry and they are willing to cooperate again, forgiveness is a more powerful strategy than not forgiving. This is why just because somebody was an asshole in the past, if they legitimately have changed, I will forgive them. Because it's actually the best strategy for reproducing yourself and your ideas. Copykitten is the best strategy. You bet on Copykitten. Again, go through the simulation. You were right on the money. Copy Kitten wins this time. That's surprising that even with a little meaner starting population, Copy Kitten, a more forgiving version of Copycat, was the most successful. Note, Copy Kitten is so forgiving that it doesn't even entirely wipe out Copycat. It shares room. In this case, a bit of miscommunication, 5% chance of mistake each round, could lead to more forgiveness. But is this true for all levels of miscommunication? So that was assuming that we're not making a ton of mistakes. 1 in 20 mistakes. Use the slider below to change the amount of miscommunication, then hit start. Okay, so let's make there be more mistakes. I think under a situation of more mistakes, I think the closer you get to 50% chance of mistake, the closer you get to random doing well. I think 20% is an important breakpoint. Yeah, if people are making too many mistakes, then forgiveness isn't a good strategy. I think if you get close to, if you go to 50, then like random is in there as well. And then everybody becomes random. Everyone becomes random at 50%. I think it's like, yeah, like the more mistakes people make, the more being an asshole is a good strat. Yeah. The results turn out something like this. At 0%, the fair copycat wins. At 1 to 9%, the forgiving copycat wins. At 10 to 49%, the unforgiving always cheat wins. And at 50%, nobody wins ever. This is why miscommunication is such an interesting barrier to trust. A little bit of it leads to forgiveness, but too much and it leads to widespread distrust. I think our modern media technology, as much as it has helped us increase communication, it has increased our miscommunication much more. All right, now it's sandbox mode, chat. Let's increase the cost or the value of cheating and just see what happened. If you increase the value of cheating, I think grudgers do well. Oh, wait. So this is actually really interesting. Let's do this again. So what happens here, if you increase the payoff of cheating, grudgers do well, and they kill out all the assholes and the simpletons, and then the copy kittens come back. That's really interesting. Stop giving a shit. Thank you so much for the 20 tier 1s. All right. Let's really increase the price of the value of cheating. And let's make mistakes go up a little bit. Interesting. I wonder if we like make cheating really profitable. Okay, the most you could do. Yeah. Yeah. So if you make cheating profitable, what happens is people that hold a grudge but who are cooperators win. And this is the society we're in today. And this is me. We need more Mike from PAs. Because right now being a cheating asshole is hyper profitable, which means if you want to cooperate, we need to come in and start blasting motherfuckers, hypothetically, metaphorically, so that we could get into a cooperative environment. Game theory has showed us 3 things we need for the evolution of trust: repeated interactions, possible win-wins, and low miscommunication. Of course, real-world trust is affected by much more than this. There's reputation, shared values, contracts, cultural markers, etc. Let's not forget the biggest lesson. What the game is defines what the players do. Our problem today isn't just that people are losing trust, it's that our environment acts against the evolution of trust. This may be cynical or naive, that we're merely products of our environment, But as the game theory reminds us, we are each other's environment. In the short run, the game defines the players. In the long run, it's us players who define the game. So do what you can do. Create conditions necessary to evolve trust, build relationship, find win-wins, communicate clearly, and maybe then we can stop firing at each other, get out of our own trenches, cross no man's land, come together, and all learn to live and let live. If you're interested in this game, here is a link. And I think that'll be where we call it today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about this situation. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. This is the Central Committee stream. Make sure you hit that follow button. We're all going to die unless we figure out a way to build trust and cooperation. You mean the structure influences the individuals in it, and the individuals influence the structure? That almost sounds like superstructure theory, doesn't it? It sounds like the Marxists were right again. All right, everybody, stay safe out there. Solidarity forever. I'm sending you over to VO because brain rot. Here's all my links. Stay safe. See you soon. And we have got to destroy the centrist Democratic Party. Free Palestine.